What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Convo Show. I'm your boy Jay Stokes, back with another one. I got a good one for us again. Today I'll be talking about what is your why. A lot of people are just doing things, they're going with emotions in life, and I want to hit on that why, that meaningful purpose, that thing that drives you, your desire. So without further ado, let's start the conversation. So when you talk about your why, like what is it? Like what drives you? What makes you tick? So for me, is for a while I've always felt like there was more. There was um I was given something, I feel like I needed to speak, but I always felt like that maybe that's not me. Maybe I'm not that person. Maybe I'm not the most intriguing person that I think that I am. And then I told myself, why am I my biggest critic? Why do I keep shutting myself? Why do I keep creating excuses when clearly this is a thought that's not going away? I've always watched talk shows. I've watched the Steve Harveys, the Oprahs, shows like The Real, The Talk. I've watched people on YouTube. I've watched podcasts. I'm listening to podcasts. I watch YouTube, like Charlamagne the God, Ricky Smiley, people who are outspoken, say what they want to say, and they're not necessarily like I used to think that you have to go to school, you gotta do this, but then I decided to focus on my why. I decided to focus on my purpose. I decided to focus on like take a step back, look at everything that's going on, and I keep saying to myself, why do I keep wanting more? Like, let's take this into consideration. I had I have family, education, good salary, good career. Like I don't really like things are good. Like bills are getting paid. Like I have a roof over my head, food in my stomach, car to drive, kids are fed. Like there's a lot of stuff going on, and I still always wanted more. And I didn't start filling my void until I started following my why, started following my purpose, and that's how the Convo Show was born. This is something that I procrastinated for a long time. If you know me, if you know me from back when, you know I've always talked about like I have a passion to talk. I just love to talk. If you know me, I'm a talking machine. But I not only just talk, I feel like I'm talking about something. I feel like I like to hear, I like to solve. I like to spread my opinion, spread my experiences, not to impart them on you, but to say, hey, here's another point of view that you can take. So when I decided to focus on what I wasn't doing, because I was so on like when I was working at Walmart and I was working in these retail jobs, just trying to find my way after college, I would pour into it. I mean, like 12-hour shifts, not sleeping, going back to work. And I'm like, I'm a hard worker. I was pouring, but I said, going back to why am I pouring all my energy into someone else's business? I saw a meme the other day that really, really frustrated me. The meme was the CEO pulled up in a Ferrari, and the employee said, "Wow, that's a nice car." And the CEO said back to him, "If you keep up the hard work and you stay focused, you work hard, you put in the hours, I will buy another one next year." That literally sums up how I was feeling over the years. I felt like no matter what I did, no matter how many hours I put in at Walmart, no matter how many hours I put in at my current job, I'm working for somebody else to be a millionaire. I'm working for someone else's generational wealth because this is their idea. And I'm not knocking working a 9 to 5. I'm going to work this job until I'm able to do what I want to do. But it's like, now I know my why. My why is to pay my bills now and to move forward. But my question today is, what is stopping you from focusing on your why? Are you happy where you're at? Have you looked at your why and weeded out the excuses? Oftentimes we can, like our mind can create excuses after excuses after excuses as to why you can't do something that you keep feeling in the back of your mind. And sometimes entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but I do believe that everybody has a purpose. Everybody was put here. It's not just a reason you were born in the generation you were born in. It's not just a mistake or a freak of nature that you were placed on this earth at this current time. What are you doing today that will benefit your tomorrow? Are you creating generational wealth? Are you establishing yourself in a society? When you leave, if you left this earth, what are you leaving behind? And sometimes this doesn't intrigue everybody. They don't care. They just want to do what they got to do, be happy, live in the moment, YOLO. But when is YOLO gonna die? I mean, because if you're not following your intended purpose, I believe everybody's on this earth for a reason. I believe everybody is instilled with a gift. And if you're not utilizing that gift because you're focused on societal views and the whole, I have to get a job, I have to work a 9 to 5, I have to have these benefits and do this, that, and the third, nobody can kill your dream but yourself. Anything that you have in your mind is for you. And you have to bring it to fruition. You have to put in the work. You have to find your purpose and find your drive in this world. Nobody's going to find it for you. A dream that you have is a dream that's in your head only. So you can't expect somebody else to think about that dream for you and put it into fruition and say, hey, I know what that dream is. Let me get in and jump in it with you. You have to put in the work. You have to do the hard labor, make the sacrifices. And when you get into that mind state, that's when that mindset of I'm working for myself, I have to do this for myself, then that's when you start to find your purpose. That's when you establish your why. But this why thing, it goes further and it goes deeper than just your purpose in life. It's like, so for the people who maybe entrepreneurship is not your calling, what about your job? How long you been in that current position? How long you been trying to get out of that current position? Or how long have you said that you wanted to get out and haven't even hit the apply button to another job? Why do you think that you do that? Why can't you push your fingers to work and look for a new job? Why are you stagnant? Why are you complacent? Why don't you know how, like, everything goes back to the why. Everybody says they want more. Everybody says I want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everybody says I want to be rich, but nobody wants to put in the work. Like, to get somewhere, like, so when you want something, right, this is where you start. And this is where you want to finish. You know there has to be work put in between that. It doesn't just happen overnight. Establish your why. Figure out yourself. Find out who you are. Secure your identity. People, human beings, gentlemen, ladies, mental health is so serious. It's going to be something that I echo out throughout all my videos, because if you don't establish who you are, if you don't know who you are, if you don't identify what you want to do in life, every day you wake up and you post another Monday, oh, I got to go back to this job. I'm glad I got FMLA. Oh, I'm about to use this. I'm about to go on leave. This job ain't about to stress me out. Well, then what's your why? Then why you keep going? Why did you apply there? I understand you got bills, but there's other places that can pay your bills. Why do you keep going to the same job? Those complaints are excuses, and it's like a guard. It's a shield, so you can stop yourself from doing what you actually want to do. Maybe you want to act. What stops you from acting? Maybe you want to do hair. What's stopping you from doing hair? And please, please don't look on social media and say, well, that's what I want to do, because that's their lane. Like, everybody has a lane, and you have to find out what your lane is. You don't have to jump in somebody else's lane to make money. There's a lane for everybody. There's so much money out there that can be made, and people are willing to pay for it. What I've noticed in life is that a car dealer can make the ugliest car. I guarantee you at least one person will buy it. There's always somebody who may be interested in your product or interested in what you're talking about. And it takes time. There's no overnight success. A lot of things that you see on social media, you don't see the hard work. You don't see the grind that they took to get there. I was talking earlier, like drug dealers. A lot of these young kids admire drug dealers And because they see the jewelry, they see the glamorous, they see the glitz and the glamour, the jewelry, the cars, the money, the clothes, the designer. But you don't see how many families that they're destroying with their product. You don't see the anxiety that they deal with while they have to pop 10 Percocets or whatever the case may be just to calm their nerves. You don't see the actual guns that they carry on them, not for show, not to put on social media, but to actually protect themselves from the rival drug dealers or gangbangers. So, like, you have to understand, just because you see the reward, they're never going to show you the work. Because that's the ugly part. That's the ugly part. But they're going to show you the reward. Everybody's going to show you the reward. Insurance agents, people try to tell you to sell insurance, they show you the reward, but they don't show you the work. Even your current employer, they tell you all the things that you can be, but they don't tell you that you got to be there 25 years, 30 years in a company before you even see that. So, like, even to get your 401k, you got to put in years so you can be vested to get that money back. At the end of the day, these companies, these careers, and everything have established their why. What are you doing in your current place? If entrepreneurship is not for you, that's fine. But what is your purpose? What are you doing? Why are you in that same position? Move to the company. There was a point in time where I was creating another excuse, and I said, I'm not really an entrepreneur person. That's not something for me. I'm more of a, you create the business, I'll manage it for you. But at the same in the same breath, in my circle, I'm like, yo, I gotta hit the lottery. Yo, I need a bag. I gotta get a bag. I gotta get to the bag because there's things that I want to do in life, and what they're paying me is not gonna cut it. And do you think they're really gonna pay you more? No, because you're working for somebody else's vision. So you need to start putting your vision into play. Establish your why. Figure out what is your purpose. What do you like to do? What do you want to do? What, like, even if it's just a matter of switching a career, you know that you are artists, right? You know that you have a passion for physical therapy. You know that you may want to teach, but you know that these industries might not pay as much and there's bills right now. I get that. But what's stopping you from starting the groundwork to just volunteer, put in the time, establish it? So when you go to these employers or these other businesses, you can come with experience. You come with experience, you can get more pay. Like, it's as simple as doing what makes you happy. The happier you are, the better your life is because you're not as stressed. Stress is a cancer to the body. Other people like, I don't have cancer. If you have stress, to me, that's a cancer. You have a disease and you need like not chemo, but you need something to cure that, because stress, the body does not do good with stress. It causes illness and it causes your body to deteriorate because stress is unwarranted. Stress is not nothing positive about stress because you're unhappy with life. You have to find your why and stop ignoring your inner self, your conscience telling you this is not what you want to do. I understand that you're trying to make the ends meet, but you have to find your why. You have to find your passion. You have to do what makes you happy. I know a lot of people who may not make a lot of money and they are the happiest people because they're doing what they want. You'd be surprised how you can live within your means when you're happy, and how the money will come. I listen to a lot of people who have money, a lot of people who are working towards money, a lot of people who just putting in the work, and they're saying that they are happy because they see the fruits of their labor. When you do something with your own hands, when you take your life into your own hands and you take control of it, there's nothing that can stop you. There's nothing that is gonna get in your way because your happiness is driving you, and it's something that you have a passion for. When you have a passion for it, you work differently. You put a different type of energy into it, and you can apply that same philosophy to your relationships in life, people. If you are in a relationship with a significant other and they are cheating on you, why are you still there? And if you know they're cheating, if you're in an abusive relationship, why are you still there? If you're in a relationship and both of you are unmotivated, not touching each other, And at this point, it's a financial partnership because you both are just financially supporting each other. It's a business arrangement. Why are you still there? Don't you deserve happiness? Is there not somebody else for you? Like, are you there for the kids? Is that a reason why you're there? Like, in everything you do in life, relationships, work, purpose, which is like life, establish your why. Know why you're there. Know why you're doing what you're doing. When you establish your identity, when you establish your focus, when you establish your current state, then you know how to move to the next level. You know how to get to the next piece on the board. You know how to get to the next area on this board called life, on this game board called life. But if you don't establish your why, if you don't identify your purpose, if you don't identify the opportunities in your relationship as to why you're in that relationship, as to why you're fighting for that man's love or fighting for that woman's love or fighting to prove that this is where you're at, like, establish yourself. And I mean, that's the word that comes to mind as I'm going through this video. Establish yourself. Identify what it is you are, what it is you possess, and what it is you bring to the world. Because at the end of the day, we all bring something. I put this right up because I feel like it speaks to the video. I'm the trillist. If you don't lift yourself up, if you don't speak power into yourself, then you're gonna stay miserable, you're gonna stay unhappy, and you're gonna stay putting on for others that don't care about you. People only care about you as fast as they can scroll past your picture and possibly double tap it. People can't double tap your money. They can't double tap your happiness. Okay? Like, don't live for other people. Live for your why. Live for your purpose. You matter, and everything about you matters. So when you put yourself first, then the world will follow. And you can live in your own lane, make your own decisions, be your own boss, and start to understand why some of these people who chose themselves over life have this optimism and this different view on their life and where it's going. You always wonder, well, why you think the money is making them happy, but the choices that they've made to get to the bag is making them happy. Find out who you are, find your why in all that you do, and be better than you are yesterday. Because yesterday is a lesson, today is a lesson, today is what you're handling, and tomorrow is unknown. So take care of what you're doing, be you, and don't stop. That's all I got to say about that. Have a good one.